Welcome to this explainer. Today we're looking right down at our feet to explore a world that honestly feels like it was ripped straight out of a comic book. I want you to completely reframe how you think about the insects scurrying around your garden. Instead of just seeing little bugs, I want you to start viewing their exoskeletons and these highly evolved traits as literal superhero suits living all around us. Because thanks to their incredible biology, which includes complex materials like chitin, these tiny creatures can defend themselves and perform acts of superhuman strength that entirely defy our normal understanding of biology.
To really wrap our minds around this, ask yourself, what if you could drag a jet fighter right up the side of the Empire State Building? It sounds absolutely absurd, right? But hold on to that image for a second. Imagine scaling up human physical limits to match the astonishing pound-for-pound capabilities of insects. If we actually had the proportional power of the bugs we're looking at today, that jet fighter scenario wouldn't just be some crazy movie stunt. It would literally be just another Tuesday at the construction site.
Section 1. Ants, the ultimate weightlifters. Okay, let's dive right into this.
We'll start by looking at one of the most common insects on the planet. And please don't let their size trick you into thinking an individual ant is weak, because it's exactly the opposite. An individual ant can lift around 1,000 times its own body weight without even breaking a sweat. To put that into perspective, the absolute peak of human powerlifting allows an elite athlete to lift maybe 3, occasionally close to 4 times their body weight. An ant, 1,000 times its weight, is just standard operating procedure. That kind of raw, brute force is an absolute game changer in the animal kingdom.
Think about it like this. When humans need to move something incredibly heavy, we rely on heavy machinery. Bulldozers, massive cranes, giant diesel engines. But for ants, a group of them can casually drag an entire bird across a field using nothing but their own biological hardware. If we wore ant suits with their proportional strength, human construction sites wouldn't even need bulldozers anymore. We'd just strap in and get the job done ourselves.
So the absolutely crucial point here is that they don't just lift heavy things. They take that immense load and they completely defy gravity with it. They carry massive payloads while climbing straight up a vertical wall, or, incredibly, while hanging entirely upside down. Add to that their ability to excavate massive, sprawling underground tunnels, and you quickly realize they're essentially engineering marvels wrapped in tiny, ultra-durable exoskeletons.
Moving on to Section 2, Defying Gravity and Physics.
Because lifting strength isn't their only superpower, they also take zero fall damage from any height. If a human falls from a significant height, gravity does its terrible work. But an ant? Because they're so incredibly small and light, an ant could technically fall from miles up in the air, literally dropped out of the clouds and land perfectly fine without sustaining any damage at all.
And this brilliantly illustrates the real-world physics behind this superpower. It's not magic, it's just math. Step 1. An ant has a relatively large surface area compared to its incredibly tiny weight. Step 2. As it falls, this specific body ratio creates an immense amount of aerodynamic drag. Step 3. Instead of gathering speed as it plummets, that drag actually forces the ant to slow down as it reaches the end of its flight. Their bodies basically act as built-in parachutes. They never hit the ground with enough force to cause an impact.
Section 3, Bizarre Anatomy of Spiders.
Pivoting away from the brute force of ants, let's look at the incredibly bizarre, weird, and frankly beautiful evolutionary anatomy of spiders. Now, if you have arachnophobia, these traits of the Australian peacock spider might just cure it for you. They are arguably the cutest arachnids in the entire world. They're so incredibly tiny you probably wouldn't even notice one scrambling across your kitchen floor. But up close, they have these large, bulbous eyes, an absolutely brilliant shiny blue and red coat, and they're covered in this adorable fuzz. They even have a complex mating dance that is just a marvel to watch. It completely flips the script on that creepy, crawly spider stereotype.
Which brings us to Section 4, the horned web weavers.
But, not all spiders are quite so cute and cuddly. Meet the long-horned orb weaver. At first glance, it looks pretty much like your regular everyday arachnid, except for a terrifying and mysterious twist. It features a bright orange back, a vibrant color that out in nature is almost always a neon warning sign to predators, meaning danger. But the most striking feature? It boasts 2 massively long, curved horns protruding straight out of its back. It looks menacing, alien, and highly specialized. But here's what I want you to take away from this literal web of mystery. Despite all our advanced science and intense study of these creatures, scientists still have absolutely no idea why the long-horned orb weaver needs these strange prongs. We really don't know their evolutionary purpose at all.
It's a fantastic reminder that even in our modern age, nature still holds on to some pretty fascinating secrets.
Finally, Section 5. Who really rules Earth?
So we've looked at their incredible strength, their total immunity to gravity, and their bizarre specialized armor. But to truly understand these superpowered creatures, we need to step back and look at the big picture. Let this staggering number sink in for a second. Count the zeros. That is 1 quadrillion. Scientists estimate that there are about 1 quadrillion ants roaming the planet at any given moment. They're found in colonies around almost the entire world, creating massive networks right beneath our feet.
Let's break that number down so it's a little easier to digest. Based on the human population of 7.3 billion people, that math works out to 1.4 million ants for every single human being alive. Just imagine an army of 1.4 million tiny weightlifters, each capable of lifting 1,000 times their weight, assigned just to you. It's wild.
Which leads us to the final thought I want to leave you with today. Is it really our planet after all? We humans love to think we run the show, but when you consider a world blanketed by quadrillions of superpowered, gravity-defying, heavy-lifting insects, you really have to reconsider humanity's actual place in the hierarchy. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and hey, the next time you see an ant or a spider, maybe give them a little nod of respect.